Means we're live. Hey, all right, guys, so I'm back. This is Chip Townsend with Chip Live. I'm here with the one and only Dr. Chris Proctor. If you got a tooth problem, this is the man you need to talk to right here. Because I had a tooth problem one time and he fixed it like a pro, baby. You remember that?
I remember.
You remember that? He's like, of course I remember working in that cavern. Yeah. So anyway, here with Dr. Chris Proctor of Southwest Dental Care. Also kind of infamous in town for operating the Smiles for Life fundraiser run that we've gotten to play in a few times, which is a good time, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, well, Dr. Proctor, I want to talk to you today about a couple things. First and foremost, how are you?
I'm doing well.
You doing well?
I'm good.
Awesome.
I love interviews.
Loving life and loving interviews, right? It's like, this is almost like going to the dentist to get your teeth pulled.
Come on.
All right, man. So, first question. You are a dentist. Well, we covered that. But what got you interested in that? What got you into your field of expertise, man?
Okay, so growing up, I always told myself, I made my goals when I was little. I always wanted to be a doctor. And, doctor this, doctor that, get good grades, all that. And so I worked really hard in school. And the funny thing is, I worked real hard in school, got into college, was in college. Probably the end of my second year of college, reality hit, and I was like, there's lots of different kinds of doctor. I never took that one more step to figure out just what I wanted to do. So I really started searching, at that point.
Right.
And, you just go through a process of trying to figure out what works for you.
Right.
And for me in school, besides doing the best I could academically, I was really, I really enjoyed art and working with my hands.
Cool.
And took as many art classes as I could, and I just didn't know if there was a way that I could implement.
Tie that together.
Yeah, tie it all together.
Yeah.
And
you should make prosthetic eyes. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Believe it or not, I mean, I looked at going, optometry
That route,
and stuff,
right,
and
right.
then I was like, well, I mean, I didn't know what to think about that. I requested information from schools and stuff, but I'd never been to an optometrist myself, so I'm like, why am I pursuing that?
Right.
So I went and observed a couple of dental offices, and there was a doctor there that, I looked around his office, and he had pictures of him with his family and pictures of him skydiving, and I asked him about his hobbies, and he was like, well, I get to, I work with my hands, and I make jewelry, and I cut gemstones because,
Nice.
I really enjoy the art component, and then, kind of flipped a switch for me. And I just
Nice.
thought, well, if there's a way that I can, continue to work with my hands, and I do. I get to do it every day because you take this tooth that has, holes and defects, and you have to know, you get to reconstruct it.
Right.
Or you have patients that grew up with, very little confidence, unable to smile, unhappy with their lives, and no self-esteem, and you get to help to restore that. And so there's that art component that really is gratifying for me. So
That is awesome. And that's really cool, getting to restore smiles.
yeah,
That's like restoring, you said it, confidence, right?
Yeah, they're tied together.
There's so much parallels. I think kind of what we do on the mat with, kids come in that are picked on, for whatever reason,
yeah.
and they go from zero confidence to kind of chest out and eye
100%.
contact and a firm handshake. That's cool. So you made a really cool comment that I want to kind of jump on real fast. You said when you were young, you had goals. So was becoming a doctor was something you kind of looked at and you knew, but you felt how early in life did that grab you? I'm just kind of curious because I'm 47 and I still know what I want to do when I grow up. So
Okay, well, my mom's Chinese.
right.
And so that whole tiger mom thing's real. Okay, so
My
mom's
not Chinese and she is Italian.
she was like, good grades in school, worked really hard, and I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. And I was
Nice.
like, up until sophomore year of college, I really didn't know what kind.
That's cool.
It was a very early goal, something that kind of became ingrained in my brain that I was working toward from a very early age.
Powerful parenting.
Yeah.
Powerful parenting, kind of planted the seed and got something started. That's what I see, man. And the reality is, I find it very intriguing because sometimes you meet people that go, hey, from very early I kind of knew which direction I wanted to go, but you meet probably a lot more people, I think, that kind of unsure, which direction do I want to take and what do I want to do. So I just wanted to kind of ask about that. So in your industry and what you do, share a challenge, something that you struggle with, something that's difficult.
Okay, well, in school they try to control the, when I was in dental school,
Right.
they wanted to teach us to do the basic things, like basic fillings, basic this and that. And they would try to control the cases that came to you so they were just as textbook
Right.
as could be. And then thrust you out into the real world after you graduate, and the first thing you see is just this janky, strange, weird, hot mess of a something that's nothing like what you've been groomed for.
Right.
And you have to. In some ways, I feel like I'm an artist, and in other ways, I feel like I am MacGyver, and I'm like, give me the chewing gum, give me the duct tape, and we're trying to put things
Right.
back together.
Right.
Because not everything's a perfect situation. Not everything
Right.
is the control situation that they give you, and so, and then you throw in the aspect of finances, and you got a patient that comes in, and you know what the best treatment is for them.
Right.
And they're like, well, I just can't do that.
Right.
So you have to find a way to help them to get by and not mess up, anything else for them. So
Awesome. Two things stood out to me. I want to jump on here. As an entrepreneur and as a dentist, you have people come in, and the financial piece is a struggle sometimes. I get that, man. Same thing in our industry. People come in and hey, this could be the best thing in the world for your kid, but hey, we don't have the money right now, so we got to find a way. Hence, Kicks for Kids, our nonprofit. Yeah. So.
you up for that.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's a pro. Dang. We planned all this. No, I'm just kidding. So, no, what I was gonna say is as an entrepreneur, you find ways to make things happen. You look for ways. How do we solve this problem? How do we overcome it? Instead of running up to the problem, well, you don't have money. Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I'm sure there's a process there where you try to find ways for them to finance it or whatever. But the reality is that's what you have to do, man. You're an entrepreneur. Solve a problem and look for creative ways. Be innovative, right? And I think that's powerful. The other thing you said that really was awesome was, the controlled setting in dental school and this beautiful setup, and then all of a sudden you have this, in your words, janky situation where it's like, whoa! So I'm teaching techniques on the mat, and I say, okay, you move this, you do that, you tweak this, and here's this. Oh man, that's great. And then you're free flowing, so free sparring maybe, or free rolling in a grappling situation, and all of a sudden it's not this ideal situation. Hey boss, that didn't work. Welcome to the real world, right? It's amazing how those things parallel. That's super cool, man. So, let's see here. What do you love? I think you've already kind of touched on it, but what do you love about what you do, man? What do you love? What's the standout?
I talked about helping people with self-confidence.
Yes, sir.
What I really love is being able to. First of all, I love dentistry because it is a service. I love to serve others, and I also love to help people in a way that other people, in a way that they can't help themselves.
Right.
There's a lot of, especially now online, with the internet, people are figuring out self-help, this and that.
Right.
This is something that it's a service that I feel like is, it's just something that no matter how much you read on the internet, you can't do it for yourself.
Right.
But people will try, but I mean, and so that's part of what makes me really enjoy being a dentist. Another thing is, a lot of my generation and older have had really bad dental experiences, or that's what they tell me when they come in, and I believe it. A lot of dental anxiety out there, a lot of patients that just come in, and the first thing they'll say is, I hate the dentist. I hear it all the time. And then they say, oh, I don't really hate you, but I hate coming to the dentist.
Right.
They've had bad experiences, and so what I enjoy, I enjoy a little challenge of trying to turn things around for those patients.
Wow.
And I get to do that several times a day,
Right.
because we got patients that are coming in, with anxieties and concerns and had previous bad experiences,
Right.
whether they were children or whether it was a couple months ago. And my challenge is there to try to show them that dentistry is better than it's ever been, has been made easier for patients than ever before.
Wow.
That's something that patients don't, they don't know it. And so it's my job to show it to them. And so if I can set a patient up at the end of the appointment and they can say, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, that is a huge win for me.
That's awesome.
I love it if they say, that was awesome, that was great, but I'm going to tell you,
you don't want them walking out going, no!
Yeah, I don't get that very often. I get that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And that's great for me.
That is a great thing to love.
Yeah.
And the way I kind of look at that is I talk to our young martial artists and all maturity, whatever the age is, but when I say young in the martial arts, and I talk to them sometimes about, guys, look, you're out somewhere and your aunt and uncle say, hey, show me some of that cool martial arts or that karate or taekwondo, whatever it is that you're working on. And at that moment, for those people, you become that martial art. You personify what it is and what they will always view it to be.
Exactly.
And in that moment, you kind of have a responsibility to reflect well and to show your best and to be your best, because that reflects not just on you, but on your teacher, the school you train in, and then beyond that, any martial artist out there in the world that says, I'm a martial artist. And it's a big responsibility, and I think that's kind of what you're saying with whenever you're going in there, you're trying to change their perception, not of Dr. Chris Proctor, but you're just the perception of dentistry. Hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you. This is a good industry, right? And we can do great things. So, man, that's powerful stuff. So, you're engaged in the Team Chip life a little bit. You're not personally on the mat, although it's my personal mission to get you there. So, nothing like peer pressure in public, right? But your three sons do martial arts with us, fantastic kids. They've trained with us for years, from the time they're itty bitty guys, and now they're teenagers and growing up, becoming young men. Black belts, part of our leadership team, an integral part of our school. We love them to death. So, but you have a busy life, man. A busy life, busy home. Kids are in school. Why do you choose to put martial arts on the plate? What would you say to that?
Man, it's just become part of who they are and who where our family fits in. I feel like early on they were so little. I'm talking about the twins.
Absolutely.
They were so little, and we couldn't get them to stay in anything.
Right.
And it's crazy because at 5 years old, you can already feel like if you're not investing in some kind of organized sport or something for your child, that you're already behind.
Right.
That's not how it was when I was growing up.
Right.
But so we were searching for the right fit for them.
Right.
And here they are, small in stature, bouncing all over the walls, and when we came to Team Chip, it was the first time, I've told you this before, it was the first time that an instructor came out to me and said, or came out to my wife and said, is it okay if we don't let your child run out of the room? If we don't let your child flee the classroom during the lesson, is it okay if we keep them in there? And it was like fireworks and sparks went off when someone said that, because our kids, they were runners. They would run out of the room in the middle, and I think secretly the teacher teaching whatever class or whatever discipline it was like, bye, that's one less kid to worry about.
Right.
And so it was a breath of fresh air
Cool.
to start with. And so
So maybe kind of the structure and discipline that happened on the martial arts mat was kind of a breath of fresh air.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Cool. And just a little bit of history on Dr. Chris has two twins and then another son's a little bit younger. So the twins started with us first, and man, these little guys were just a ball of energy, go hard. And so there were literally classes where I would take one twin and one of my other instructors would take the other and kind of hold them and carry them around through part of the class and then back in the
by the belt sometimes, like a rag doll, and it was the best. It was awesome.
Right. But super cool, man. I appreciate that, and I think that's awesome. I think that's one of the cool things about martial arts is that you and I walk on the mat, and whether I am, working down at McDonald's down the street or I graduated from an Ivy League school, we put on a uniform and we're just people training together.
Sure.
And that's a really cool thing. So, how long have you had the kids in?
The twins started when they were 5, and they are going to be 15. So
Almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And Henry just turned 12. He started when he was. How early can you start?
3.
He was dying to start.
3-ish, right?
3.5.
3.5, right?
So.
Whew, that's been a while, brother, man.
Yeah.
That's been a while. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask you a little different angle. That's a long time. A lot of parents look at that and go, "Oh my God, you had your kids in something for that long." One thing that hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
What's kept you keeping them here? Is there any 1 or 2 things you could say to that?
1 or 2 is hard. I mean, there's so much. There's so much good that I've seen from it. The discipline alone.
Cool.
For them to get that somewhere besides myself and Sarah trying to implement it at home. There's the confidence they have in themselves.
Right.
There's the guaranteed 100% support and acceptance that they receive when they come here.
Right.
That makes them want to work hard.
Right.
It all feeds into everything. It gives them the confidence to go out and be somewhere else.
Right.
And work hard and
Right.
know that the atmosphere that you guys have created here, and anytime that the different team chip groups come together, it is just one of 100% acceptance. They feel like they can go anywhere and be safe with anyone and just walk right up to somebody and start a conversation, whether they know them or not.
Right.
And it's just a safe environment. And I don't know, once somebody spends, enough time finding all that out, why anybody would think it was a bad thing.
Right.
It's only good.
I appreciate that. That's meaningful, and I think for anybody out there that's not close to a team chip, there are a lot of martial arts schools out there like that. And one of our missions and goals is to create a family-friendly, family-safe, but challenging, but disciplined, but structured environment that our kids can grow in. Right? That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. That's huge. So let's say we've got somebody out there that's more kind of like your situation, a professional, got kids, they've tried this, they've tried that, they've kind of bounced around, they're not sure, they're thinking about martial arts. What would you say to encourage them just to get started?
Gotta just try it.
Right.
You can flail around doing all different kinds of things, but if you have any interest or any inkling that your child might enjoy martial arts, they'll get that here. They'll get so much more in addition to martial arts training that I feel like, our family's been blessed immensely. And I don't think that's something that that's not what you're signing up for, but you're gonna get so much more than you sign up for. That's what we feel like.
Very cool. Very cool. So I'm gonna switch gears on you just a tiny bit. You're a very successful man. You have a beautiful family, amazing, life. And so what's a great piece of advice? What's something somebody shared with you that you want people to know, that you feel like, I've had little comments made to me through the years that they just never left. And I kind of go, every now and then I go back to those and I process them and I go, wow, that helped to lead me to here. What is something maybe you could share with people out there?
I don't know.
Nice.
When I first started out in as a dentist,
Right.
I have a partner, and he's been a dentist in Abilene for 40 years, and I got discouraged early on because patients would come in and I would say, I feel like we should do this. We should move in this direction. I feel like you need this, and they would turn me down for whatever reason,
Right.
and say, no, we're not going to do that, or no, I'm not doing that. I'm not interested in that, and they would leave. And I would get discouraged, especially in the times when I wasn't as busy as I wanted to be. And he said to me, well, you can't be all things to all people all the time.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to. He called it an approval addiction. He said you can't run around trying to make everyone happy all the time. You know, you are going to make an impression on people, but you can't make an impression on every person, and you have to be okay with that.
Right.
You have to be satisfied with who you are and what you have to offer, and you have to do the very best you can. And if you blow everybody away and everybody wants to follow you around, great.
Right.
But you figure out what you stand for. You offer that to people. Not everyone's going to take it. You be okay with that.
Powerful. That's awesome, man. Like Mama said, you're just not going to please everybody, right?
You can.
Yeah, you can't, you won't. And I think the key is being okay with that.
Yeah.
At some point, when are you so solid in who you are as a person, who you are as a professional, that you can go, I'm okay with that, and I can move forward, right?
Sure.
I also thought it was really powerful because many people, this blows my mind. So I sold cars for 3 years, Chris, and a lot of people don't know that. And I wouldn't trade that 3 years of experience. Glenn and I got married early, and it's kind of a whole different story, but we agreed one would go to school, one would work. I ended up going to work selling cars. She stayed in school. And anyway, point of the story is you would walk in places, and I found myself sometimes kind of embarrassed because we all, hey, what do you do? I sell cars. Because there's that, kind of negative vibe of being a salesman, right? And I know people who are attorneys. As a matter of fact, my nephew graduated law school as an attorney, and he's like, yeah, I'm an attorney, because there's that negative vibe. But the point I'm trying to get to is for you, you've probably felt that some with dentistry. I'm a dentist, right? Yeah. And
The almost doctor.
Yeah. Oh no, that is so not true. So anyway, what I wanted to hit is this. It's true in every industry, man. It's true in every industry. And you said something. You were presenting something to people, and many times they would walk away and say, no, we're not going to go that route. Guys, I don't care who you are. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care. Every day you spend your life selling something. Does that make sense? Dr. Chris was trying to sell a procedure that would make someone's life better. Preacher's trying to sell you on living a better life. Your martial arts instructor's trying to sell you on, hey, you need to be on the mat for your health and for fitness and for learning self-defense. Your mom and dad are trying to sell you on, which boy you're gonna date, because that guy's not good and that one's okay. It doesn't matter where you're at, right? Does that make sense?
Right.
So what a powerful thing to say, and what great advice. Be confident in who you are, right? Okay, cool. So what's a book you would recommend? Last thing right here, what is a book that maybe you read that has been influential that you'd recommend for people to read?
I was going to ask you to not ask me that.
You cannot escape the
So
question.
I went through this run when I finished dental school where I was so done reading that I didn't want to read anymore.
Right.
I have since, it's been almost 20 years, but I've since started reading again for fun.
Okay.
I read mostly fiction,
That's cool.
but I also do like a 1-year Bible, and I've done that for like the last 10 years.
Awesome.
I don't mean to be corny and say I recommend that you read the Bible, but
I think it's the top book to recommend.
well, okay, I recommend that you read the Bible.
Absolutely.
I've done a 1-year Bible for I think about the last 10 years, and every time I'm reading through it, I always find something, whether it's just a little pearl of how to live your life, or
wisdom, something. Right?
yeah, and yeah, it's
Well, they say the Bible's like living, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a lie, and so when you read it, you kind of see the things that you need in your life sometimes.
Absolutely.
And when I read it, I may not have seen what you saw, but I see what I need, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's powerful, man. I have trouble with that because people ask me, hey, what should I read? And I always say, next to the Bible, here's what I recommend.
Yeah.
So awesome stuff, man. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Thank you.
I hope you had a good time and enjoyed our time together here. I had a great time. Appreciate you, your family, what you do, and everything you stand for, brother, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Smiles for Life.
Let's do it.
All right. Smiles for Life is a campaign that we do at our office every year from March to June. What we do is we whiten, we do tooth whitening with 100% of the proceeds going to charity. Locally, we're able to give half of the money we raise to Children's Miracle Network hospitals, which is a big deal to me because babies and we had babies and they needed that. They needed those services. So.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so from March to June, you can whiten your smile with all proceeds going to charity. You don't have to be a patient of ours or anything like that if you're interested. And also, to help supplement the money we raise for Smiles for Life, we are hosting a 5K run in June. It is Saturday, June 15th. This year it is called the Smiles for Life Hula Hustle. We're inviting everyone to come out in their grass skirts. And
I might show up in my grass skirt, man.
Listen. So it's gonna be a fun time, and we hope you guys will consider coming out and participating.
Absolutely. So Team Chip has engaged several times in the past with Smiles for Life, the 5K run. It's a blast. It's a good time. It's family friendly. It's for an amazing cause. You know, they whiten teeth. And then take those proceeds to Children's Miracle Network and other nonprofits. So what a powerful way to give back to the community. So, and they don't have to be a direct patient of yours
Not
to
at all.
come to
Not at all, and there's no charge. We do a quick evaluation of the patient to make sure they're a good candidate for whitening. There's no charge for that.
Do you have like a website or anything that's that they can go to, or a place they can link for information possibly?
They can look up my office, Southwest Dental Care of Abilene, on Facebook.
Awesome.
They also can go to smilesforlife.org and find out more about that program.
When we post it up, we'll put the links in so that it's there so you guys can reach out. It's a great cause, and Mr. Chris, thank you so much. Dr. Chris, I should say. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day. Another Chip Live in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like it, love it, share it, and spread the word.